Tell me about your first job in the industry.
So my first job in Hollywood was in the mailroom. Actually, that's not true. My first job in Hollywood was at the Universal Studios Central Vault. I went there to apply to be a tour guide. And they said, well, you're overqualified to do this, but you can make more money if you sit in the vault all night and count money. And there's a room in the center of Universal Studios. I can't tell you where it is. But if we ever wanted to rob Universal Studios, I know exactly where it is.
This sounds like a script.
It sounds
right
like a script
here,
already.
so.
And one of my jobs was to ride around in a little cart with a security guard. And every safe in every restaurant and every store takes 2 keys. And I had one of the keys, and the manager had a key. So if we really want to rob all the safes, I know where those are.
Okay.
So that was the first job I got, like a month since being down here. And I just thought, well, at least I'm going onto a studio lot every day in the Central Vault. But
Absolutely.
I often say my first job was in mailroom because that's really what, my first Hollywood job was actually interacting with Hollywood people.
Sure.
Was in the mailroom it was then MTM Studios. It's now CBS Studio Center in Studio City. And these were in the days when you could just drive your resume around town. And my wife and I dropped our resumes all over the place. And I had done some work in the mailroom in college. So I actually had mailroom on my resume, which helped to get me in that door. And my wife had too. She had worked as a manager at a Hallmark shop, like a postal station. And they actually called her saying, does she want the job? And she had just been hired as an assistant to somebody in distribution. And she said, well, my husband also has mailroom experience. And so they said, fine, send over his resume or have him call tomorrow. And I got that job. So that story is a wonderful story that only proves that in Hollywood, it's who you sleep with that matters. And you have to sleep with my wife in order to get the job, right? So it's a little problematic to tell that story. But I can't, that job, I started out in the mailroom.
I just love that you had mailroom experience already, because that's the job you get when you have no experience in this town.
Isn't it weird? Yeah. And I was able to get it in there. I hear like the CA mailroom is full of Harvard grads and all these entertainment lawyer types, and I was able to just kind of sneak in with my liberal arts musical theater degree, but because I worked in my college mailroom, it was actually work study kind of stuff, scholarship stuff, getting in there. So it just kind of all led to that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that.